Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America. It's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only Dawg Knight.
Yeah, I haven't fixed the issue, but I'm going to run with it anyway. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as PDawgKnight on the internet. Welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel. And yeah, I'm still having this issue with YouTube. Can't use my studio, so I'm using my phone for the chat. I'm not going to be able to type anything in there. I was going to do a poll today, and can't do it. Or not a poll, Q&A, not like a Friday Q&A. I got to fix that by tomorrow, or we're not going to have Friday Q&A tomorrow. And I'm going to be mad. Well, I suppose I could do it in the chat, but then it's a pain in the ass. You got to scroll and find all the little question marks and shit. It just, I'm extremely annoyed. Anyway, how y'all doing? It is Thursday, the 4th of December, 2025. Getting closer and closer to a new year. Or is anybody excited for New Year's? Is anybody excited for Christmas yet even? You know, we just finished Thanksgiving, which is my favorite holiday because I love cooking for my family and friends, the ones that show up at least. That's another story. But anyway, but yeah, Christmas is coming up, and I'm not necessarily excited for Christmas other than, you know, celebrating the birth of Jesus. But other than that, Billy Boomer and I might leave town and do something else because, oh no, we can't because my daughter is going to do some, okay, never mind. Anyway, how are you today? I am going to just get this show going because I'm just babbling now. First in the chat today is Midnight Gets the Bell. It's about time. Also, good morning. The hell was that? I did a button that I shouldn't have. Also, good morning, Advocate. And no, you didn't beat me at midnight. My stuff isn't working today. So anyway. Also, good morning, Avocados Diablo. How you doing? And it's tough to even scroll in this thing. It's YouTube for a minute. Then Mike Savage, Blarg. Let's see. I'm scrolling. Somnambule Nation, Kara Soldier, what's up? Ms. Wild Wolf is here. Blue-Eyed Scream, what's up? Tired, the Pope. Tyranius the Third. The Blessed Bliss for the daily blessing for the, not the Father, not the Son, but from the Holy Ghost, who says, blessing of the divine spirit be upon you. Question, if you take a kind word, a warm smile, a sincere gesture, mix it together, spread it out through your life, you get what? Bueller? Well, you get a glorious day, and that's all it takes to make the world better. If everyone could do that every day, wouldn't that be amazing? Instead of just bitching about, like, it's, you know, I left UPS this morning. When I went to UPS, it was 1 below zero in my little town where I work at UPS. And when I left UPS this morning, it was 11 below zero. But did I get upset about that? Nah, I just walked to my car, started it up, waited a few minutes, drove away, came home, started setting up the show. Because I'm not going to let something like that bring me down. Never going to break my stride. Nobody going to hold me down. Uh-oh, I got to keep on moving. That's an important thing. Just keep going, man, and figure out reasons why you're happy about life rather than why life pisses you off. Except for YouTube. YouTube pisses me off right now. Anyway, all right, so there you go. Thank you, Tyre, the Pope. Also, good morning. Who else is here? Attack Alpaca, what's up? Good morning. And Darren Root, nice to have you back. You know, and this is a pain doing. Oh, Selected Boys in the house.
Yeah, boy.
Oh shit! I really actually pushed that all the way through, didn't I? Let's see. Oh, there we go. Resolute Germ, what's up? And Green Badger Outdoors and AWOL, what's up? Nice to have you back too. Did Johnny Boomer Tech take the week? Seems like it. Johnny Boomer Tech is just messing me up this week. Good God. Good God. As James Brown was saying, Anon 1, 2, 3. Is here. Good morning. And I think that's it. Okay, there you go. Make sure it is on live chat instead of top chat. What? Yeah, you mean my phone? My phone's on live chat. Is that, are you telling me? Who, you talking to me? Huh? You talking to me? All right. So anyway, this is how it's just going to be today. It's very frustrating because I like using the studio and being able to pop out the big chat so I can read it. And on my phone, it's so tiny I can't hardly see it because I'm getting old. That's kind of funny too. All right, let's talk about what's happening in the world. Oh, I didn't hit here. Let me post my old. Let's go. If you follow me on X, I just finally posted the show, and I didn't do it on locals either. Here, I published that. There, now the show's official. And my time is limited, which sucks. Because I can't figure this out. I've been trying to work on this for 2 days, and I'm gonna have to ask for help from YouTube or something. All right. Thanks to people sharing the show. Greatly appreciate that. That includes, of course, Somnambul Nation. Post the show usually before I do. That's greatly appreciated. And also Miss Wild Wolf did it too. And again, reposted that too. And then CG liked somebody's post. Oh, you must have liked Somnambul Nations. And then we got people reposted mine, Miss Wild Wolf and Resolute Germ. And there we go. And I'm sure there's some Let's Go's in there somewhere, but today it's not going to happen. Oh, my favorite Canadian Jaeger ponies in the house. Nice to have you here, sir. All right. Other things. Let's see. Oh, let's talk about today, the big holiday today. The big holiday today, which I thought wasn't this yesterday? I could have sworn it was yesterday, but today, maybe, I know what it was. Wasn't yesterday like something like make something cookie day, right? It was make, wasn't it? Something like that. Why is this thing, why am I, that's weird. Today is, there's your Let's Go. Oh, we got a couple Let's Go's. Yeah, there's the little kid at the car, the little plastic car giving you one of these. Yeah, baby. And then we got a little, that's Hawk, right? Is that Hawk or is that Animal? I think that's Animal. Isn't this a dude from Legion of Doom, Resolute Germ? Is that Hawk or Animal? I can't remember. It's one of them. No, that's Animal, because Hawk used to come into the bars in downtown Minneapolis when I first moved here. He was there all the time. All right. Yeah, all the days do run together. I don't know. National Dice Day. I don't know what that, like Andrew Dice Clay? Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet, eating her curds and whey. Along came a spider and sat down beside her, and he said, "Hey, what's in the bowl, bitch?" Good old Andrew Dice Clay. I remember when I first saw Andrew Dice Clay on that Rodney Dangerfield special. And me and my friends, I don't know why we happened to be watching that, but we just lost it. We all just lost it. Every time he did one of those stupid poems. That's Hawk. Okay. Hawk? Was it, maybe it was Animal that's always downtown Minneapolis. The other dude was the one that was always in downtown Minneapolis. Used to run into him in Runyon's bar on the weekends. He'd be partying down there. He'd get into fights a lot though too, and he got in trouble for that a couple times. But anyway, all right. And there. Oh, thank you, Simon Wilkins, dropping some. What are these? These are some buildings of some sort. I'm not sure what the significance of the buildings are. Is this in Minneapolis? Are you in Minneapolis? That looks eerily like Minneapolis. Who'd we get? I don't know. Okay, so all right, so today, National Cookie Day. Oh yeah, I was talking about the holiday. Yesterday was like make or something, homemade cookies, and today's the actual day after you made the cookies. It's National Cookie Day. So all those cookies you made on the other day, now you've National Cookie Day. Here's a little chart of types of cookies. Let's see what this is. Chocolate chip cookies, oatmeal raisin, peanut butter, fig roll, like a fig Newton. Does anybody like fig Newtons? I actually like fig Newtons. I don't know why some people just can't stand them, but I do like me some fig Newtons. Shortbread, snickerdoodles. Snickerdoodles is a big one in Minnesota. I don't know why everyone in Minnesota is into snickerdoodles, but yeah, for some reason. And then you got the macadamia nut butter cookies. You know what? It's a really good butter. What are those English butter cookies that you get that are in the little plaid box? Those are the English shortbreads. Oh, I don't know why I like those so much. They're so plain, but they're good. 50 FTG to fig Newtons. I like fig Newtons. Anyway, almond cookies, Oreos, wafers, double chocolate cookies. Now that's kind of redundant. That's just a chocolate chip cookie. Come on. M&M cookies, red velvet cookies. And I don't know why red velvet always tastes like chocolate. And how they get red is just, you're probably ingesting something you probably shouldn't be ingesting. Cranberry white chocolate cookies. Now that's very specific. Chocolate crinkles, pecan sandies. I like macaroons. Linzer. What are Linzer cookies? I've never heard of that. And biscotti. Is biscotti actually a cookie though? It's more like a biscotti's like eating a piece of chalk sometimes. All right. So anyway, happy National Cookie Day. Enough of that. Other holidays on the calendar. Well, the holiday calendar thinks that National Cookie Day is the most important one, but it's also International Cheetah Day. International Cheetah Day. So if you be a cheetah, don't tell your girlfriend. Okay, that's stupid. National Sock Day, Santa's List Day. Oh, he's making that list. He's about to check it twice. I know you're in trouble. You ain't getting nothing from Santa. You know who I'm talking to. World Wildlife Conservation Day, International Day of Banks. Is Banks here? It's your day, Banks. And Extraordinary Work Team Recognition Day, which I don't even know what that's. That's some bullshit. Okay, let's see. Here was the question I was going to ask you, and I'm pretty sure the first answer that came to mind is probably the same one I had. So this young lady decided to post this on X, the app formerly known as Twitter, where she asks, whichever you prefer, women deal with periods, pregnancy, and menopause. What do men deal with? And the most obvious answer is women dealing with pregnancy, periods, and menopause. But you can just drop a quick answer. I'll try to pay attention and see what you say. Women deal with periods, pregnancy, and menopause. What do men deal with? The burden of creating shit in the world. That's what men deal with. That's why. And then again, women. And Avocado, see, you and I think alike. He's making a list, checking it twice. He's going to find out who gets deported by ICE. Oh, snap. Wow. By the way, today's coffee is in the California Surf Museum cup from Oceanside, California. I tell you what, I didn't know jack about surfing. We just thought, hey, what a weird kind of goofy museum to go to. And we went to it, and it was actually pretty cool. I learned a lot. Got to see the chick who got her arm bit off by a shark. Her surfboard was in there. I mean, literally, she was paddling, and literally the shark took it out of the bite out of the board and to her arm at the same time, and it was gone. Banks, did you hear what I said? Did I just see Banks here? Oh, is that Ergo? Who is Ergo Tengupi Police? Who is that? Is that your at Banks? It looks like Banks is Abby. Anyway, if it's not Banks, thank you for being here. Nice. Oh, that's Wait, what's your? I don't know who that is. Well, we'll figure it out. Okay, so it's Simon. Is it Simon? Okay, got it. Okay. Anyone answering this question, by the way? I see that. Wait, we deal with women, piss stones. What are piss stones? Is that like when you're trying to? I say Darren. Is that like a kidney stone you're trying to pass? And oh God, that's terrible. Building society and making women comfortable while they deal with periods, pregnancy, and menopause. That's a good answer. And men deal with dying on battlefields. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of things men deal with that women don't have to deal with sometimes. Yeah, kidney stones. Okay, that's what you're saying the piss stone is. Okay, so there you go. That's enough answers. If I had a Q&A that I could put up, YouTube, I would have done that, and we could have read the answers at the end. All right, let's move on. Here's some not breaking news, but some of the news that's happening right now. Apparently, Trump's ending Biden's era of fuel economy standards and whatever this California waiver is. Okay, so here's how Grok summarized this. The administration terminated the corporate average fuel economy standards and related emission rules, resetting requirements to levels met by conventional gasoline and diesel cars. Trump also revoked California's waiver for stricter state standards, and industry leaders like Ford and Stellantis celebrating through pledges of $13 billion in U.S. investments and 5,000 new jobs. The White House expects $109 billion in consumer savings, paired with a new car loan interest deduction of up to $10,000 annually through 2028. Supporters see it as a boost for affordable American-made vehicles, while critics warn of higher fuel use and emissions. Whatever. Anyway, so here it is. Now, the industry experts were celebrating at the White House. This is right here. Now, this is Gunther. He's a total straight up, if Trump says it, it's gold. And, I'm not, I still think Trump's a bit of a jackass, but I think his policies make sense. He says, holy crap, the Oval Office just turned into an absolute America First parade. Trump brought in the CEOs and dealers and let them speak for themselves. Well, let's hear this is 5 minutes long. Oh my God. Let me just let the summary here go. Ford CEO says, we never left America. 85% of what we sell here is made here. Stellantis dropping another $13 billion in the U.S. in the next 4 years, which equals 50%, it boosted 50% of production with 5,000 new jobs. Trump says start building them tomorrow. The red tape is gone. The DeLorean plant in Michigan retooling right now for more American-made trucks and SUVs. Auto dealers thanking Trump for bringing back the car loan interest tax deduction, which saves buyers thousands of dollars. And then Trump didn't start there. He said, we lost over 50% of our auto industry. Now it's roaring back bigger than ever because of tariffs. They build here or they pay. Every single person in the room is grinning ear to ear because they're about to make better cars, cheaper cars, and hire thousands of American workers. Now, wait a minute. I don't know if that's, I don't know if that makes sense. They're making better cars and cheaper cars. Well, they'll maybe, less expensive. I don't know. We hope so. We hope. So anyway, that's the big news. Now, what's funny about this, because the reason I even found this subject is because of a post by Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom posted this morning. Now, so here's a CBS News article about it too, if you want to read it. Maybe we'll come back to it in a second. But here, Gavin Newsom says Donald Trump wants to ensure Americans pay more at the pump and China dominates the auto industry. Now, go ahead and get your FTG going for this one for Gavin Newsom, because I'm trying not to swear, but the fucking irony. Oh, the irony of Gavin Newsom talking about wanting to ensure Americans pay more at the pump the same month that the gas tax in California is about to increase by 65 cents a gallon. The fucking irony of this asshole. Talking about paying more at the pump when California drivers pay the highest price for gas in the country. And that includes Hawaii, where every gallon of gas in Hawaii has to be shipped to it because they have no refineries there. California pays the highest price for gas in the country, including Hawaii, including Alaska, he needs to shut his pie hole. I'm sorry. It's unbelievable. Now, he's saying, oh, well, because the demand for fuel will go up, then the price of gas go up. Well, you know what? Guess what, dumbass? The price of gas has been pretty good every time Trump's in office compared to the time the Democrats on either side of him have been in office. So you can kindly have a nice giant hot cup of shut the fuck up. That's what I say. All right, now, and then here's the article from CBS News. Administration rolls back fuel economy standards set under Biden. Rules would sharply lower mileage standards. Well, the problem is they're not going to start making cars with a bunch of cars with worse mileage because people don't want that. So, there's a little bit of market dealing on here that will stop that. But along with that, Trump has also cleared the path for ultra compact KEI cars in the U.S. Now, I'm not sure what KEI stands for, but let's read it anyway. KEI cars stay under 3.4 meters long with 660cc engines delivering up to 60 miles a gallon and costing $5,000 to $15,000 in Asia, perfect for city streets, farms, or deliveries. U.S. safety standards, fuel rules, and a 25% truck tariff had kept new models out, though used ones over 25 years old roll legally into places like Texas. Trump's order tied to scrapping Biden-era mandates could bring affordable rides for makers like Honda, though safety concerns linger against bigger SUVs. So, and the one truck that everyone keeps talking about is the Toyota Helix. Now, I'm not sure. Does that look like a small car to you? This is a Toyota Helix. It's a smaller truck that Toyota makes that apparently gets really good gas mileage, and for some reason they can't sell them in the U.S. But now they're saying that they're paving the way. I'm gonna turn that sound off because that's grating as hell. But Trump made the Japan truck legal. So these smaller, it's funny because I see these. We watch all these K-dramas, Lady Boomer and I, and so there, a lot of times you'll see these trucks. If it's a K-drama that has a farm in it, you'll see one of these little trucks in there. So anyway, yeah, they're making those legal. Trump announced that he approved the production of ultra compact trucks, which wasn't previously allowed in America due to government overreach. That's an opinion, their government overreach. Anyway, thanks to Trump, the Toyota Helix Champ will soon be available in the United States. It will be under $20,000. That's the other thing, too. Toyota and Honda, the most competitive price vehicles, are now legal in the United States. So there you go. So those, if you have a lot of people buying those, that'll raise MPG standards just on that, whatever. More slim than small. Is that what it is? Okay. All right. Couldn't resist taking photos of the winter sunrise. Oh, I got you. Okay, cool. All right. So that's that. And then again, Helix is trending because people. Oh, but they're also the truck preferred by people out in the Middle East with mountain machine guns to them and shit. So, the Helix is now legal. They are 15,000 brand new, and now the emission regulations killing them are dead. And part of it, the reason that one of the big reasons they couldn't sell them here too is because emission standards, they stopped at a certain weight of a truck. So if you don't have a full size pickup, you have to have the same emission standards as a passenger vehicle, which the Biden administration was restricting even more. So you didn't see a lot of the smaller trucks, the quarter ton pickups. Wait, not quarter ton. Wait, quarter ton, half ton. No, the 1/8 ton pickup. A quarter ton pickup is just a regular size pickup, like a 1500 or or F-150 or whatever. And then you got the F-250 or 2500s, and then the F-350 or 3500s, which are the heavier cars. Well, the gas standards are different for those than they are for passenger cars. But these smaller trucks had to go under the passenger car limits because of their weight, and thus it was really hard to sell the smaller trucks. I remember you used to always see in like what's the one that Toyota made a smaller pickup, and they used to sell them like crazy until these new gas standards went into effect. So, no offense, but small truck is kind of an oxymoron. Well, if you just need a little farm truck to drive around the farm or something, or you just are you just a I would never drive one of these small trucks because I love my F-150. In fact, I've considered getting a bigger one, but I don't need it. That would just be, what do you call it? Midlife crisis if I got a bigger one. So anyway, but yeah, so that's good. That's good news that they can start selling these smaller trucks because a lot of people like these smaller trucks, and they're cheaper than the cars. So people can buy, a nice little truck. They can haul some shit and whatever. All right, next, another thing in the news that wasn't necessarily a trending topic, but Zach Osborne's in the house. What's up, man? Nice to have you back. Okay. Trump administration says it's going to cut off SNAP funding in most Democratic-led states next week unless they hand over data on aid recipients, including immigration status. So this is, then it says what you need to know is streaming exclusively on Disney Plus. Is this going to be like? Is this? Oh, it's a video report. Oh, Disney Plus. Fuck Disney Plus. So anyway. And it's interesting because he said you're making it sound partisan when it isn't. He's cutting it off because they won't comply. It's federal dollars. Why can't states show the receipts of where the money is going? Yeah, it's not because it has to do with Democrat states. They asked for data from all the states, and all these Democrat-led states said, no, we're not sending you the data. But look, we're giving you the money. Why wouldn't you send us the data? So if you don't send us the data, you don't get the money. I don't know why that's controversial at all. So interesting turn events there. Also in the news, trending, Yasser Abu Shabab. Now, before you get all worked up and shit, apparently Yasser Abu Shabab is an Israeli Arab working for the IDF and whatever. And apparently he was killed in Gaza, and there's now it's interesting because the first couple posts I read about this are people celebrating his death. I'm like, what? For example, this one: sweets were distributed in Deir al-Balah, Gaza, following the announcement of Yasser Abu Shabab's death. They're celebrating and giving sweets and having parties over this guy dying. It's a death cult. And then again, this one, breaking news. Israeli collaborator and head of Israeli-backed militia in Gaza, Yasser Abu Shabab, has been killed in Gaza. He coordinated with the Israeli military to sow chaos and steal incoming aid to starving people of Gaza during a genocide. Good riddance. Now, okay, wait a minute. That's a different thing. Is he, I don't know if maybe he's not an Israeli collaborator. What do you mean he coordinated with the Israeli military to steal incoming aid? Hamas was stealing the incoming aid. They weren't distributing it. They was sitting in big, giant parking lots, and it wasn't being distributed. Aussie, this is another one. Yasser Abu Shabab taunts Hamas with a photo in which 3 of its captured terrorists had been seen with their hands tied and on the floor. Okay, so he was on the Israeli side. So people are celebrating that in Gaza. Residents of Gaza distribute sweets after the killing of Yasser Abu Shabab, who had been collaborating with the occupation. Well, there's no occupation. They've been gone since 2006. There is no occupation. Holy shit. Anyway, so the Gazans are celebrating his death. And Yasser Shabab, head of Israeli-backed anti-Hamas militia, has been killed. Israeli Channel 14, leader of popular forces and Gaza's most wanted. Unclear if this was a targeted assassination. Unclear? You think if it was I wonder if it was a targeted assassination. I don't know. Anyway, they didn't like him because he worked with the Israelis. So there you go. And then also the other trending topic that was prominent was if you're familiar with Feeding Our Future, that is the one of the fraudster organizations here in the Twin Cities that was stealing money and sending it to wherever the fuck they were sending it. So, it's trending because there's a Minneapolis City councilman. Well, first of all, here, flashback to when Mayor Omar Fateh, he was that guy who was trying to become the mayor of Minneapolis. And the DFL, which is here, the Democrats are called the DFL, Democratic Farmer Labor Party. And they endorsed him, and then they found out there was some shenanigans going on when they were doing the endorsement vote, and they unendorsed him. And then Mayor Jacob Frey ended up winning the mayor's race again anyway, which isn't any better because, Jacob Frey is always, sniffing the taints of the Somali community. But anyway, flashback when Omar Fateh, Democratic mayoral candidate for Minneapolis, bragged about his involvement with the organization Feeding Our Future, which was recently found guilty of $250 million in pandemic fraud.
So I want to help me welcome.
Wait a minute.
Our brother Omar Fateh.
Here's hang on. There we go. I wanted to have it full screen there.
So I want to help me welcome our brother Omar Fateh.
My name is Omar Fateh. I'm the state senator for District 62, which is in South Minneapolis.
And I am the captain now. No, I'm sorry.
I want to thank first all of you for sticking together, for working together, for fighting. I want to thank
for fighting. Did he say for fighting? That sounds a little violent. Anyway,
our organizers, Mahad, Ikram, other folks that helped lead this fight. And I want to thank also Amy and her team, Feeding Our Future, for making this first court victory a reality. So first, I want to say thank you to all of you.
Yeah. And there's more of him, dusting Feeding Our Future, whatever. But also, a Minneapolis City Councilman, Jamal Osman, thinks it's racist to mention the Somali community when talking about the fraud from the Somali community. What he forgets is that he pushed to keep Feeding Our Future payments going, calling it racist to cut him off. Because, anytime there's criticism, all you got to do is say something that's racist, and, then that usually just ends the conversation. Yeah, what he said. That ends the conversation. Now, but what's funny is his wife's nonprofit had to be shut down in civil court for being a fraudulent shell company, and a dormant nonprofit they founded together was signed over to two individuals who immediately went on to commit $13 million in food fraud. So
this small office in downtown Minneapolis that the Minnesota Attorney General in this civil complaint calls a fraudulent shell company. Public records show AMBA's nonprofit Urban Advantage Services received $460,000 in reimbursements between February and November 2021. The AG shut it down, citing participation in the meal fraud scheme. What's more, testimony and evidence in Bach's ongoing trial has shown Osman and AMBA signed over control of a different, dormant nonprofit they founded together called Stigma Free. Osman writing to its new board, quote, "I have seen growth during the time that I have served, and I'm confident you will continue to grow this amazing organization in my absence." The men who took over Stigma Free are charged with using it immediately to rack up more than $13 million in meal fraud across the state.
Remember, Osman, you agreed to sit down with me and talk about this week.
A city council member in Minneapolis.
Calls or texts.
Is Councilmember Jamal Osman in the office today?
And could not be found to answer questions at City Council or at his home.
So there you go. That's why Feeding Our Future. And there's all kinds of stuff going on. Here's Ilhan Omar's promoting the Safari restaurant in Minneapolis for feeding kids. The owner who donated her campaign was convicted in the Feeding Our Future $250 million fraud scheme. They stole hundreds of millions of dollars for hungry children. So this is, she was, here it is. I'm very happy to be here in Safari. As everyone knows, Our young kids estimating about a number around 20 million who are school kids only get their food from school. Wait a minute, 20 million? The fuck is that? Is that a bad translation? It's got to be a bad translation. It's got to be a bad translation. So we got a chance to create a law called the Meals Act that makes it easy in this time of pandemic for those kids who aren't in school, who are at home, to don't starve. So their families can get a chance to get food in those places where food is being given out. They did not serve 20 million meals out of this motherfucking little restaurant. Sorry. Anyway, you get the idea. There's just scroll down this. It's nonstop shit that they did. All right. So here's the biggest breaking news of the day. And that's this popped up this morning. There's been an arrest in the that RNC and DNC pipe bomb incident from January 6, 2021. They've arrested somebody. Someone here says, let's see, where is it? Breaking, the FBI has arrested a Virginia man tied to the DC pipe bomb case involving devices planted at the RNC and DNC the day before January 6. Sources say the suspect was identified years ago, but a fresh review of documents led to today's arrest. Really? Isn't it interesting how close to after that that Blaze report came out that I said, don't start using that name yet of that woman. Y'all are playing with fire. Just and remember, everyone on the internet was repeating it and showing pictures of that former Capitol Police officer. Now, what I found interesting is apparently, January 6th, DNC bomber is arrested. Someone find Cashapp tell a woman's medium jacket quick. Also get Trump the auto pen for the inevitable pardon. Yeah, no. So here it is, breaking. The suspect. Here it is. Here's the breaking news from, looks like Fox News.
There is a suspect that is in custody for the pipe bombs that were placed at the DNC and I think the RNC, both on January 6th, the night before January 6th. This is a photograph that they have here. Now, this is 5 years on.
Yeah.
So what do you think the break in the case
Why did it take
might
5
have
years?
You know, it's really hard to say, but whatever it was, you're going to have these questions of why.
One of the breaks is probably that the Blaze came out and named somebody. And oh, by the way, apparently, that woman, the Capitol Police officer, they said, oh, it matched her gait. They did a gait analysis, as in how she walks and shit. Apparently, she had timestamp video of something or other, her doing something, playing with her child that day or time or whatever. So, the dude at the Blaze, I'm concerned, may be in trouble. But all the people who repeated that information may be in trouble too. In fact, someone up here says, will Blaze Media face defamation lawsuit over the J6 bomber allegation? On November 2025, Blaze Media published a bombshell story claiming that a former Capitol Police officer, Shawnee Ray Kirkhoff, was the still identified person who planted pipe bombs at the RNC and DNC on January 5th, 2021. The report relied on gait analysis software, a leaked memo, and circumstantial details. Within days, the story completely collapsed. Kirkhoff provided time-stamped home video showing her playing with her dogs at the, not her kids, her dogs, at the same time the bombs were placed. The FBI confirmed the alibi, ruled her out, and called the Blaze report grossly inaccurate. Key pieces of evidence, smart trip card, phone data were debunked and belonged to someone else. The accusation was false. Kirkhoff was cleared. And the real January 6th pipe bomber remains unidentified. So that's from before, but then all of a sudden this morning, oh, they found the real one. Or at least they think they did. Someone here, I have concerns about the FBI arrest of suspects for the January 6, 2021 pipe bombing of the RNC and DNC headquarter buildings in D.C. This is due to the fact that the FBI is now totally loyal to Donald Trump and will carry out anything he wants them to do. Oh my God. Are you sure? Now, come on. But I'm more curious about the idea that they may have had this guy identified before. I'm trying to figure it out. So his identity has not been released yet. More info expected soon. The FBI finally nabs this Virginia bloke hauled in this morning for allegedly planting those pipe bombs outside the RNC and DNC headquarters the night before the January 6th circus kicked off. So that's the big breaking news this morning. We'll find out more about that later. RNC and DNC is trending, and DNC and RNC is trending. I don't know why they need to do them both, but pretty much the same stuff in both of them. Let's see, what's this one? Oh, and then U.S. Capitol is also trending. So here's ABC News article on it. Suspect arrested in January 6th pipe bomb case. Federal authorities have arrested a Virginia man in connection with the placement of 2 pipe bombs outside the headquarters of the Republican and Democratic National Committees the night before January 6, 2021. Attack on the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol. There was no attack on the U.S. Capitol. Holy shit. Just by using that language, it wasn't an attack. It was a riot that was kicked off by, well, there's a whole lot of, you know what I say about it. I say that as far as the police, that was, they instigated the rioting part by just indiscriminately flopping flashbangs into the crowd. And police people decide all of a sudden they're going to start beating people along the fence line that they had there. But the other part is the Capitol Police were up by the Capitol building where they were trying to break in. We're doing nothing to stop it. Nothing. They just sat there and watched. Who told them to stand down? But that's a whole nother story. Anyway, the suspect is expected to face charges for allegedly planting the devices, which investigators later determined were viable explosive that, if detonated, could have resulted in serious injury and death, marking an extraordinary development in one of the most high-profile federal investigations in recent history. It's not clear the full scope of evidence authorities have gathered, allegedly tying him to planting the bombs. The arrest comes after nearly 5 years after discovery of the pipe bombs outside the RNC and DNC headquarters on the afternoon of January 6th, roughly 16 hours after they were placed by a suspect who was seen on various surveillance cameras wearing a gray hooded sweatshirt, a mask, and a pair of Nike Air Max Speed Turf sneakers with a yellow logo. Investigators described the suspect as having a severe gait, as in walking, pointing to the movements seen in security footage. The discovery triggered a massive law enforcement response to both locations just minutes before hundreds of supporters of President Donald Trump began breaching the barricades outside the U.S. Capitol. Oh, you mean like Ray Epps? Yeah. It's funny that they still kind of poo-poo Ray Epps' involvement when he was right there. Anyway, outside the Capitol, as lawmakers were convening to certify Joe Biden's 2020 election win. Absence of other distinctive identifying characteristics of the suspect frustrated investigations for years as they issued repeated pleas to the public for tips that could help them track down the alleged pipe bomber. But 4 years after the incident, the FBI still couldn't definitively state the suspect's gender, despite an expansive probe that the Bureau said included more than 1,000 interviews, a review of more than 39,000 video files, and over 600 tips from the public that were investigated. The FBI offered a reward of $500,000 to anyone who provided information leading to the identification and arrest of the suspect. Well, if he turned him in, I wonder if he turned himself in, if he would get the $500,000. Does that ever work? Anyway, the lack of answers and widespread conspiracy theories about the suspect's potential political motivations and speculation over whether they may have had a foreknowledge about the attack on the U.S. Capitol. Again. Oh, hi TC, by the way. Expansive probe sounds painful. Yeah, it's like a colonoscopy. You know what I mean? Anyway, but they usually, have anesthetic or anesthesia. What do they use that? Whatever it is that makes you not feel shit. Now there's a quote here. There's a massive cover-up because the person who planted those pipe bombs, they don't want you to know who it was because it's either a connected anti-Trump insider or this was an inside job. Dan Bongino, now the deputy FBI director, said on the Dan Bongino show in November 2024, those bombs were planted there. This was a setup. I have zero doubt. And then the pipe bomb placed at the DNC came within feet of then Vice President-elect Kamala Harris, according to a subsequent report from the Department of Homeland Security Inspector General. So, so what do we think? What do we think of this arrest? I wish I could put that in the chat because I can't even hardly read the chat right now. Severe gate, wrought iron top with spirits. I don't know why this story is always going to have the reek of bullshit to me. I don't know. Why did it take this long? Why did it take 5 years? And now they got some different new corroborating evidence, or did just other people make it weird for them with the whole Blaze Media Group story? I do not know. But the last thing that's trending because of this is none other than the Blaze. Everyone's going to be talking about the Blaze now. Somebody here says, I can't wait for Steve Baker and the Blaze to still not take their story down, defaming an innocent Capitol police officer as the pipe bomber. Interesting. Here's another one. The Blaze should shut down in disgrace. They built their brand decrying fake news only to publish a ludicrous hit piece tarring an innocent woman for this because they desperately wanted to believe it was an inside job. Humiliating. Well, we don't know who was arrested, dummy. Billy Binion. We don't know who was arrested. We just know that somebody was arrested. And we don't know anything about them yet. We just know that someone was arrested. And that someone still has a lot of potential to be all sorts of things that you might not be happy about. You know what I'm saying? Because why would, again, isn't it interesting that they put him at both the RNC and the DNC? Huh. That clearly doesn't sound like a January 6th attack person. That sounds like it's meant to be a distraction. To me, I'm just saying, I'm just speculating. So, who knows? Say bye-bye to the Blaze. They're going to be in trouble. And again, what did I say when I saw that report? I talked about it here. I said, all these people definitively naming that person, that officer, that woman who the Blaze decided that her gait analysis made sure it was her. I said, don't jump on that bandwagon. Of course, it was just like January 6th, too. When they were going to have that rally, I was like, I wouldn't go fucking 100 miles of Washington, D.C. that day because someone's going to do something nutso. And it sure happened. Well, in this case, the Blaze, I wasn't going to put her picture on there. I'm just saying what they said. I didn't want to say her name. I just said they think it might be this person, but I'm going to wait till law enforcement actually arrests somebody. And now it seems to be something else. Not looking good for the Blaze's gait analysis accusation. No, it does not. So doesn't the Blaze have a ton of liability for publishing the name of a federal employee that they said did this? Yes, they do. What's the mood over at the Blaze? Oh, I can tell you right now what the mood over is at the Blaze. This is the mood at the Blaze. That's the mood at the Blaze right now. All right. What else I got here? I got a time limit. That's what I got. In the I opened Aggregator today, but I really didn't go through it too much. Let me see what excuse me, let's scroll through some headlines here real quick. Or should we do just a lot of times I just like to read the introduction to the daily Aggregator because dude's funny. The JJ Septon who does this, it didn't sign it today, it doesn't look like though. So for example, some notable things. First, we have a perpetually noxious, yammering knockwurst known as Joy Reid declaring that MAGA will commit jihad for Trump. Oh, good Lord. Let's put that on here.
MAGA supporters are armed to the teeth. Right. They are rabid in their support of him, and it's a religion.
Hold on. MAGA supporters are armed to the teeth? How do you know that? Why do you assume that? Now, granted, more people on the right have guns probably than on the left, but what do you mean armed to the teeth?
And so they will commit.
Oh, and she's with that chick. I couldn't find the other day. I had that chick on my thumbnail when I couldn't do the show. Whatever the hell this fucking haggled wine mom, see you next Tuesday lady is. She's just, look, you spell that out and you look up the dictionary and her picture's there.
Commit jihad for Trump. The fear is that if you don't obey him, his cult will try to kill you.
You know how I know that's not true? Because if it were, there would be bodies
everywhere.
And there's not. Y'all want conservatives to be so much more violent than any of us actually are. We're not just roaming around trying to figure out how to perpetrate political violence. We're too busy getting up and going to work to pay for all of these welfare programs and illegal alien safety nets.
Tell that story.
Sorry that you're not getting the politically convenient bloodbath you've always wanted.
Damn. It's getting its own link. That's getting its own link. Let's see. I'm just going to read some headlines here, though. Let's go through some of these headlines that you can go through the aggregator and click the articles. Did a Democratic senator just call for military coup against Trump? Yes, we talked. I think we saw that the other day. There's a lot of these I've talked about before they even get to publish. And that would be Mark Warner. Mark Warner says uniformed military may help save us from this president. Almost asking for a coup. Minneapolis police chief calls on Somali community report masked ICE agents, pledges intervention. Yeah, the chief of police basically asked the public to report anytime they see ICE activity. And he didn't necessarily say intervene, but they would dispatch officers out to, maintain order, so to speak. I don't know, man. He's playing with breaking federal law. That's all I'm saying. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, I have inherited a white supremacist system. Dude, if you knew it was a white supremacist system, why would you even be part of that system? You're part of the system now, brother. You are a white supremacist, Brandon Johnson. Somali counselor in Maine indicted on gun theft charges. We're gonna keep hearing about Somalis now. And again, I'm telling you, not all these Somalis are bad people. I'm telling you, I work with a couple guys. They're cool as hell. They're becoming completely Americanized, though. I'm sure that's not. I'm sure there's some eyebrows raised in the Somali community about that. And then Trump, he went little Donald Trump on the Somali community the other day. Let's see. Oversight Committee investigating Tim Walz, Keith Ellison over Somali fraud, evidence destruction. Oh, shocker. Let's see. Exclusive Senator Joni Ernst says there's virtually no auditing of SNAP programs, introduces legislation to fix it. Yeah, that's could be due. I don't know. There's a bunch in there today, but I wish I had more time. Maybe one of these days I'll be able to get home on time and get YouTube to work correctly, and then I won't have Boomer Tech all day. There's a few more things I got to do though, real quick. Let's see where we at. Start with Simon Wilkins right here. Thank you, Simon, again for sharing the show. Mike Savage with our Let Us Go of the day. Thank you, sir. We got Ms. Wildwolf reposting other people tweeting the show, and Swamp Fox Ghost. I'll retweet my gas tax in California thing. Here's another Let's Go. I don't know what this is from. I'm trying to think of what I don't know what this is from. But anyway, Let's Go. Got the glasses coming off and looking ready and able. And then all the people retweeted the show. Green Badger Outdoors, Reaction Puerto Rico, Swamp Fox Ghost, Kirsten Shull. Thank you, Kay Shull. Somnambule Nation, Ms. Wild Wolf, and Resolute Germ. And then there's our here's our daily. It's not even a gift. This is just a stealth fighter flying around and doing loop-de-loops. Thank you, Green Badger Outdoors, reposting that. And TC, yes, Moist Tree Squirrel, whatever you call yourself on the Avi or the at name, TC, our friendly, Moist Tree Squirrel. Moist, you. Anyway, there you go. All right, that's it. Let me drop these links in the chat. Oh, I can't even drop the link in the chat. The links will be in the description. Sorry, if you want to get to the links, they'll be in the description. Happy National Cookie Day. I got to go. My name's PDawgKnight. Have a great day. I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawgKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.